Well, thank you so much, Mr. Subramaniam, for taking the time out and helping us out with our assignment for the subject entrepreneurship for engineers. And we're pretty sure that like your diverse experience in different industries and corporate life and ventures will definitely give us more insights, and it's going to be a very valuable interview for us. Yeah, so Mr. Subramaniam, if you can introduce yourself very quickly, so we can.
Sure. My name is Ram. You guys can all call me Ram. Perfectly good. Um, I'm actually in a place which is in the state of Karnataka in India. Nice sunny day here today. Been an entrepreneur for the last 27, 28 years now. Uh, Used to work in corporate life, been an entrepreneur, now actually act as a mentor, as an investor, as a adjunct faculty at quite a few places. Very glad to see you all, diverse background. Hopefully, I can learn as well as share something that will be of use to you.
Were you always entrepreneurial as a child, or was it something during your time in IIT or Purdue which triggered this entrepreneurial side of you and you decided to go out and do your own ventures?
It was neither. It was neither, Antrit. Actually, what triggered was a very opportunistic move initially, at least. Um, One of the learnings that I got from people that I used to interact as a young person was that as soon as you start making some money, try and buy some land,
Right.
because land always appreciates and that will give you better returns. So this is what everybody kept telling me, but I never had the money to buy land.
Okay.
So eventually, once I started earning and I started getting some cash flow into me through my corporate jobs, post me completing my engineering. I'm also an electrical and electronics engineer by qualification. So once I started earning some money post me becoming an engineer, I set aside a little bit of money and started buying agricultural land which is used in order to grow agricultural produce. And I started uh, growing chilies. Uh, Chilies, which are, they're called different things at different places. So there are different varieties of chili. So a chili of the variety which is red in color is the one that I started growing. Right? And over a period of time, I actually amassed enough land bank that I started. Uh, so chili by itself is also consumed, but chili also has a secondary purpose, especially in the cosmetic industry, where chili is crushed and there is a chemical component in the form of an oil which is extracted from it called oleoresin. Oleoresin, oleoresin. And that oleoresin is used in the cosmetic industry for nail polishes, for lipsticks, and things like that, because
Okay.
of its red color. So it's red in color, but it's organic in nature, so it won't harm the skin and things like that. So I also started not just growing the chilies, but also extracting that oil by creating an extraction unit, doing chemical processing to be able to create the end product. So eventually, I learned and did this exercise. So a short answer to your question is that it was the learning that you need to buy land and it is a safe appreciation that actually got me into entrepreneurship.
Right. Yeah, like so being from India, I know how important everyone is being taught about investing your money in land and real estate.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, so like as you mentioned, it was the buying land. But like during your time in corporate, because you had like a really successful corporate career as well, working in companies like TCS, SAP, etc. So like during any of those tenures working as a corporate employee, did you ever feel like, this is it, like I need to have something of my own and like not continue working as an employee?
Yes and no. It was less about wanting to work for myself, but more of actually the products and services that we were offering as part of the corporate career, not completely solving the customer's problem, and that irked me, quite a bit. Uh, so, for example, in many of the enterprise application companies that I was working for, it would take us 6 months, 9 months, 12 months to complete the implementation rollout. So a large corporate, say like IKEA, would actually buy an ERP solution from us, and they could not turn on the switch. It would take them 12 months before they could actually start realizing the benefit of the investment that they have made. And that never sounded right to me. I said, in this day and age, when technology has grown leaps and bounds, why should you do that, right? One. And two, when these solutions were in existence, the era was not of mobility. Mobile technology was not as mature. But come mid, say about 2010, 12 onwards, mobile applications, mobile as a device actually started, and the bandwidths became cheaper. Mobile as a technology became more mature. So one of the things we said was that both we need to shorten the time of implementation, hence the ability for the customer to be able to generate value out of the investment that they have made. So that is the first problem that we said we want to solve. And the second problem was that we need to use the advancement in mobile technology by putting convenience of decision making, data gathering, as well as decision making into the hands of the users without materialistic concern as to where they are, right? So on the go, I have a device with me. I should be able to do that with the same amount of convenience that I have when I'm doing it on my desktop. So we set out to be able to solve these two for the customers. The domain remained the same. It was still on the enterprise resource planning side. We picked the people side of the ERP. We said, let us actually solve people technology, provide technology to solve people processes, from the process of identifying and hiring an employee into a corporation, all the way to managing him post leaving the employee and the alumni process surrounding it, right? So this entire life chain, we decided to go ahead and manage it. And in order to do so, we use these two tenets. Very proud to say that eventually it took us 3-4 years to get to that vision. But eventually we were able to implement our solution for a customer. So if you as a customer, Antrit, buys our application, 4 weeks from the day you bought our application, you will be up and running.
Okay, so like it cut down from 12 months to 4 weeks.
4 weeks, right? So that's a big win for the customer.
Nice.
It's very exciting to heard the experience from you, yeah. But what I'm curious about is, have your goals and values changed since you started your entrepreneur journey, and how did you balance your original vision with the need to adapt to new challenges and opportunities?
Thank you so much, Fiona. And this is a continuous challenge, and I don't know whether I have a bullet answer to this, but I can share with you what I did. Every time there were new challenges, and there were challenges. So broadly, there were 3 or 4 types of challenges, right? People challenges. So initially, a small team comes together. We start the building of the product. But between the 3 of us, we don't have all the skill set. So we need to build a team. A team comes across through the journey with us because they have interacted with us in our past lives. They trust us, so they come along in the journey. Initial days, we don't have enough money to pay them because we are also building. We are also struggling. So we don't have enough money. We have our journey was completely bootstrapped. We were very smart in not taking venture funding, because we said if we take venture funding, then our vision will get destroyed. Then it will become the venture funders' vision that we have to follow. Similarly, the ability to be able to get the product tailored from what your vision is to what actually gets converted onto the ground. And that itself is a communication issue, right? Typically, I will say that I need an elephant, and what comes out as a software product will be a donkey. And that is a challenge, right? So we went through a lot of challenges. We went through iterations. We went through pivots. We started with something, we pivoted a little bit, we course corrected. But I think in all of this, the one thing that remained steady and the one thing that we were always blessed was that we had an initial set, because of our corporate expertise, of our corporate experience, we had an initial set of 5 to 6 customers who trusted our vision and acted as our anchor customers. So they said to us that if you get your product to the vision that you actually are trying to get to, we will buy it and we will stay true to implementing it through your vision. That helped us. That strong show of support, that helped us a lot. But we faced numerous challenges, Fiona. There was challenge too many, but we kept persevering. That's the only way.
Okay, thank you very much, Fiona. Okay, you have told a lot about your experience, but looking back, would you do anything differently, like in your entrepreneurial journey? Like, what advice would you give to your younger self at the start of your first venture? Like,
yeah, Pablo, hindsight is 2020. So I would have probably done a lot of things differently. Initial set of people that we hired, maybe not all of them were the best. We would have done a little differently. See, what happens is, in the initial part of your journey, you are trying to balance between core skills and people who also come with that attitude to share your vision, right? Sometimes both of them don't go with equal amount of importance. So if somebody is a high believer and has that attitude to believe in your vision for what the product should be, what the market should be, what the company should stand for, you might be okay in hiring that person even if he or she has a little less skills. But that is not a good idea. That's not a good idea. You want to find that right balance between both, because after your 50th employee, even if the skills are a little less, it is fine. Because you are big enough, you can coach them, you have the money, the time, the expertise, etc. to bring their competency up. You can get them to enroll into courses, you can get to buddy them up with somebody, all those things. But initially you cannot. You don't have money, right? You don't have money, you don't have the ability to skill them up. So you need to be very conscious in the initial team that you are hiring. At least the first 5-6 people that you hire, they can make or break you. They can easily make or break you in 2 ways. One is the product can become absolutely wrong, or the product can take more time than you would have anticipated, right? So that is one. Second is, one of the things that maybe I'm not very sure I would have done differently, but I think I would have done differently now, because among the 3 founders, I was sort of the first among equals. We were all equal, but I was sort of the first among equals. I was sort of trying to steer the path for what the company should do, etc. And I was steadfast, although my other 2 co-founders were not, but I was steadfast in the belief that we should not take venture funding at all. Right. So that was a very strong belief that I had in my system. Consequently, when we exited the company, when I sold the company, we had about 180 million in annual revenues, because it was a SaaS platform, software as a service platform. So every year we get revenue. It's a recurring revenue that we get every year. So we had about 180 US dollar, 180 million in revenue. But if I had, and that took us 7 years to build, right? But if I had taken venture funding, probably, there is no guarantees, but probably we would have hit that in 5 years. So probably by 7th year, I probably would have been double that number. I probably would have been 350 million in annual revenues, right? So that is one thing that I might have done differently. Another thing that I might have done differently, the last one, there are many, but last one to mention would be that I probably would have. So what we did was we entered Americas first, then we got to Europe, and then we came to Asia Pacific as a region. But we were a people solution. So if you look at people, right, managing people, number of people, etc., which region has the largest number of people? Asia Pacific. Yeah. Right. Between India and China, we have the largest workforce. Right. So probably if I had done differently, I would have, after Americas, I would have taken Asia Pacific and then prioritized Europe as a third theater. That would have probably helped me add revenue a little more faster. Maybe. But hindsight is 2020.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for us engineers, who want to be entrepreneurs?
I would. I think as engineers, we carry the advantage of being able to closely apply our studies to a real life problem, right? Because unlike pure sciences, I don't study physics for the sake of studying physics and be able to see how the Newton's laws of motions were good, bad, or ugly. Fortunately, when you study electricity, when you study magnetism, you are able to apply it through IoT, through generative AI, through real applications, right? If you're a chemical engineer, through plasticizers, through specialty polymers, etc. So you are able to take the science and be able to apply it. So I would say use that and take real life problems and see whether you're able to create a connection between what those engineering concepts and the real life problem solutions could look like. I would say if we can do that right from school, that would be wonderful.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and all the very best. I hope to see you all as entrepreneurs in the near soon term.
Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Cheers.
Bye.
All the
Bye.
very best.
Bye.
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 Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye.